Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alfi Rahma Aulia. It's been a long time since I've seen my college friends and the lecturer who taught me. Do you guys had the long holiday, or do you think it could be a little short off? Because I think so. Some of you may not be able to celebrate Eid al-Fitr Mubarak, and some of you may be celebrating Eid al-Fitr Mubarak with your family. And here I am telling you about my big Eid, so you can conclude it's fun or not. Before Eid Mubarak, my mom is really busy with her ordering of ketupat, cakes, sembako, and so on. But luckily I was at home so I could help my mom. Instead that I felt a bit sorry for her because she must be very tired on a hot day with fasting while I wasn't fasting at the time. But my mom thought it was fun because she made enough money for her and I like to see her smile. Actually, I don't get any more money from my mom and dad because I do one online job that I think the money is for enough for me to get on my own. And when I just stay at my home, I gather my money until I finally can buy some clothes for my families. If you'd have seen the look of my sister's face when I gave her that shirt, she was so cute. And when she wore that clothes on 8, I think she was the most beautiful person I'd seen that day. I like dressing my sister. On the first day at Mubarak, we had one family prayer at the mosque that near to our house. Then we went back home and apologized to each other. You know, when I asked for apologies from my dad, he said I'm the one who most annoying at home, and then he punched my hand while joking. I mean, how can he make a joke in that situation? But at that moment, I realized that many of my traits had descended from him. After that, I changed my clothes. It took me so much time to put makeup on my face that the neighbors come to my house when I wasn't ready. After we spent some time with the neighbors, my mom and dad decided to take a nap before we went to my dad's grandmother's house. Parents' energy was a little weak. Usually, every year we would go straight to my grandmother's house because the house is just an inch away from mine. But the last 2 years we haven't done it because my grandmother's is dead. I will cry too much if I telling about this story because I'm so close with my grandmother. Let's just pray for let's just pray for her. Back to my story. After I felt my parents had enough sleep, I woke them up because it was getting hot. So we were getting ready to go to my dad's grandmother's house. We left with a very happy feeling that we were finally going to be able to go out with one family again because honestly, my brother it's kind of hard to get together because sometimes he has to work or he's too tired to go out. But I think he's a little sickly weak, so I understand that. When we when we got to my grandmother's house, I hugged her and kissed her so much that I love her so much. We just picked up some food. Of course, I ate it. Long enough, we were swapping stories until finally we had a big family leaving to go to the house of the rest of our family. My dad's family used to do this. They would come in shifts all over the house from each other of the family, so Eid Mubarak was a long day for me. Until finally night came, my mother and I decided to go home first to bed and let my little sister rest for a while. I wouldn't let her get sick from over overreactions, of course. My mother's family made plans to meet on day two because some family members were still out of town. And when the second day came, we all go up and finished to go again. We went to my mom's oldest brother's house. In my mom's family, they would all be at their parents' house if there were one. But now they would all be at my brother's house and go to my grandfather's house. To be honest, I don't often to go to them, so when I was there, I hardly recognized them. But they all remember me and always tell stories that I was a kid. But I was a little girl who was a little bit naughty. I like to be pampered, and if I was there, I felt they served me like I was an immature elementary school kid. And then we talk and do things like the previous day until evening when our nights would come home because the other family of my father would come to my house. But who would have guessed that my brother brought his girlfriends home, and then I was the victim of that "where is Alfi girlfriend? Where is Alfi boyfriend?" question. Oh my god. Should I introduce Nakamoto Yuta as my boyfriend? But my mom's overt hero and my aunt standing by my side saying she has a really handsome boyfriend. Was I know that was a lie because I know they mean Yuta. But I thank them for helping me at least. It was so late that everyone decided to say goodbye and then we rest. The next morning, we actually still had to go to some family and friends of my mom's and dad's, but then my friends asked us to out to play, and I accepted that because I guess we hadn't seen each other since college either. So on the third day of the day, my friends spent the whole night together. We just hang out at the same house and had a lot of fun until we get tired. But we kept planning some of the activities we had to do the next day, like like watching movies, karaoke, and playing the time zone. Karaoke was my idea since the first aid. I felt so bad about karaoke, but I didn't have any friends to ask of me at the time. And finally, it came to me when my friends grant my little request for me. But one of the problems came at night when we want to get home from the mall. We didn't even get an online driver who could pick us up until one of my friends called his mom to pick us up. But we we went through with ladder because we thought it was funny. Then finally we go home to each other and take a break. The next day we had a normal day as a family, even though sometimes some guests still came. Why did it end so quickly? But it's gonna be one of the most fun stories of my life. And what about you guys? I like listening to other people's stories, so you can tell me about your 8 days if you want. I will end it here because it's too long. Bye, everybody.